Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Here are your hosts, Jmann and Danny, the Midwest motherfuckers. Well, here we are. It's episode 2 of the podcast, and we're going to give this a whirl. We actually pre-planned some shit.
Some, not very much.
Some, not a lot. We're going to introduce a new segment tonight called Things You Learn When You Work in a Jail, which will draw upon my experiences working in a jail. If Danny doesn't have his typical level of energy, it's because he's not drinking as much Surge tonight as previously. He's got Mellow Yellow instead, but hopefully he has enough energy to actually function while we're doing this.
And I've been up since 5 a.m.
Fair enough.
Times you
Fair enough. I got up at 5:45, but then I worked out.
I beat you. I work out all day. That's what I do.
Yeah, I did calisthenics for 45 minutes and lifted weights, so.
I sand floors for 10 to 12 hours a day.
Right.
That's a workout, dude.
It's good for Popeye forearms. However, it doesn't really build your chest.
Who says you need a chest?
You want to have a chest or you end up with moobs. It's unavoidable.
Well.
So, how did work go today?
It wasn't bad. South Minneapolis. It's always interesting down
I don't
there.
know that part of town. Is it a shitty part of town?
Yeah, this area was.
What's the ethnic makeup of the people around where you were working?
Middle Eastern, Somali, that area.
Didn't see any ISIS flags flying?
No. They're not that ballsy yet.
Nobody was smoking pot out on the corner or anything?
Could have been. There was a dude, he's on the porch all day. He got Coolio hair.
He's Middle Eastern?
No, this is
Coolio hair?
This was a Somali.
Oh.
The ones that are...
I suppose they probably just got Gangster's Paradise like 3 weeks ago in Somalia. They're so behind the times.
Yeah, well, he didn't do anything all day but sit outside.
Good for him. I bet you he's not on any government entitlement programs. Fucker.
Exactly. I'm working all day and he's sitting out smoking cigarettes.
Good for him.
Or cot.
Well, I spent most of my day zoning out. I did my work in spurts. Quick spurts, so I could get back to zoning out. And then I actually spent time fucking around on the internet, Googling how to be better at podcast software. Try and open that thing without making that background noise. Why don't you just put it up to the mic and open it so someone knows you're opening a pop? You're trying to be all fucking coy, and I'm totally pulling your covers right now. I can still hear it. It's probably on the mic. So...
I wasn't trying to be a dick and interrupt.
It's okay. It's okay. So what I did was to help with ideas for the podcast episode 2. Is I enlisted the help of multiple friends, and I put out a mass text, and I'm just like, send me ideas. And some of them were good, and some of them were like, I don't know what to say. And I'm like, well, fucking thanks, asshole. That makes 2 of us. As we're leaving last night, I can't remember how I got on the topic of my trash pickup situation at home. And then it hit me. Like, I snapped my fingers, was like, that's it. That's the idea for episode 2. And Danny's like, what is? I'm like, I'm not a cheap ass. I'm thrifty. And this is like a theme that, of all the fights that seem to be the most reoccurring between me and my ex, aside from her, blatant alcoholism and smoking pot all the time and just being a shitty human being, was money. Money. Oh, God, she's so bad with money.
So you're saying she was a gold digger, too?
Well, she has this unrealistic expectation that people are going to buy her shit, or that if something we'll just use it and we won't use things like appropriately or gingerly enough that they won't get damaged. Like when she broke my vacuum and she's like, well, I'll just buy you a new one. I don't need you to, I do need you to buy me a new one now, but I wouldn't have if you weren't slamming the fucking thing into the frame of the cabinet that I keep it in. And I can't tell you how many people over the years have accused me of being a cheap ass. It's been like everything from friends to girlfriends to family members. But I guess I don't see eye to eye with that opinion. Like, take my current situation with the trash disposal that I brought up. My health insurance costs went up like to an all-time high this year. Ridiculous amount. So I had to cut corners to make up for the difference. And I refinanced my mortgage last summer, so now I pay like $38 more a month. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're a single dad and you have bills, it is a lot. So garbage for me was like $64 for 3 months of service, and I was only having the trash picked up like 1 or 2 times a month at best because I barely generate anything. I throw like all my banana peels and apple cores and, biodegradable shit. I just throw it out in the yard, and then like the birds and the squirrels fucking take care of it.
That's good for your yard too.
It is good for my yard.
As long as you compost it.
I don't do that. I just throw it out there and leave it. I let it rot.
Semi-dump style?
pretty much.
Sweet.
So I was like, $64 for 3 months of service, and I'm not even really using it. So like, who's not going to find that to be excessive? Like, what did I do? I canceled my trash provider service. Then I started hauling my garbage to my parents' house. Because they're just like, well, I guess if it'll help you. Because, they don't want me to be broke.
What's the difference between that and being a college kid and going there and doing laundry?
No, I don't know.
Same
thing. So, like, I maybe fill up a Target bag's worth of trash every day. So I just, like, throw it in the trash outside the store when I'm going to the store. Or at the gas station when I fill up. Which I see people do that all the time. They start throwing, like, all a bunch of garbage and shit from the footwell of their car.
Yeah, but that's all from their car. That's not from their
car. It's coming out of my car just because there's like 9 diapers going into the garbage can at Super America. Fuck them for being picky. You left the goddamn garbage can outside. And my ex, like, lambasted me so many times for being a cheap ass because of this. And it's like she gets child support money for me. I pay all the kids' medical and dental costs, which is like $590 bucks a month combined. And she complains about money, but it's like she smokes and she drinks and she eats out constantly and gets caribou all the time. She'll get her nails done, sometimes her hair, but she won't like consider any of that to be foolish spending.
She's not thrifty.
Well, let's throw this on there, too. I just want to clump it on that she gets WIC, and she's taken multiple vacations since we split. I took 1 vacation, and that's so I could fucking go down to Florida to have this new wave hernia surgery. So it's not like I was going there to bask in the sun and swim in the pool. I went down there to get my fucking guts pushed back up into my body and sewn shut. That bitch. And she's like going to Vegas, and she went to California to see her friend.
And she qualifies for WIC. But she can do all that.
Yeah, well, the fucking government doesn't keep tabs on it. She's got her credit card debt. And here's the big one. A bankruptcy on her record. That's a big one. Yeah, like when I met her, she had like $17,000 in credit card debt. She's like, well, I'm just gonna declare bankruptcy, so I'm gonna max out these 5 or 6 cards and whatever.
They say
and she
now,
fucking did that.
Nowadays, after bankruptcy, though, you can apparently get your credit back within like 3 years.
Oh yeah,
and buy a new shit.
Fucking ridiculous. Yeah, but what else? The van she has, her van, piece of shit. When she bought it, wasn't a piece of shit. But inside of it, it looks like somebody lives in there because there's like clothes and the boxing. Oh god, yeah, the boxing gloves, dude. She joined one of those like fitness. Like, there's this fitness gym over by Target where she lives, and she bought like a boot camp membership for 12 weeks. When that was done, she wanted to stay on at the gym, so she paid $900 for a fucking year of membership.
Oh my god!
She's gone 3 times. That's 300 times a visit. I could go get a massage from an Oriental woman in a parlor and get jerked off, and it wouldn't cost me $300.
Again, she's not thrifty.
And this is going to sound very sexist, and I don't care. How many women do you know with the same mentality? How many? Let's keep it to like 30 and 20-year-old age women. How many girls just spend money like, I've got a kid and I get child support and fuck it, I spend my money on stupid stuff?
Quite a few.
Quite a few. All right, so I'm singling out the ladies. Guys do it too. I know tons of dudes that have like stupid cars they can't afford. And they're all like, got my fucking carpet. Well, don't fucking drive a Cadillac STS and then park it in the dirt driveway next to your shitty A-frame Rambler that has cracked windows and holes in the siding and mice in the basement, you cunt. Men have traditionally been the main earners. And, it's a fact that a lot of households are 2 income. I'm totally bringing up that caveat in this comparison. But you can't ignore the frequency with which women have kids and then stay at home for a few years, if not longer, raising the kids. Somebody's got to do it. Some people are just like, fuck it. I shit out a kid. 8 weeks later, I go back to work. They can go to daycare. Let the daycare raise my shitty kid. I make $90,000 a year. And those would be some of those pussified parents that I talked about in the last episode, whose kids are all never get spanked. They get timeouts and they get fucking trophies for everything, even if they shit their pants. Good job. You did it. Yay.
Participation. That's what counts.
So my dad works, and my mom doesn't. And she's a housewife, which entails getting up at the crack of like 8, and then she watches some TV, maybe does a load of laundry, eats some breakfast, sits on the couch, watches some more TV. She washes her ass somewhere around 12 noon and 1:30 in the afternoon. So she gets her Social Security money, which is fine. But she didn't really work most of the years that I've been alive. It's kind of a shitty deal that my dad is the main breadwinner, and she bitches about money, and then also acts like, well, I do balancing of the checkbook, and he couldn't do that without me. Well, you couldn't fucking have food without him, you bitch. You'd be living in a goddamn efficiency apartment. So she'll go out and constantly buy shit like crappy snack foods. They have a room. It's like a pantry, but it's like a bar. You open, it's a closet, and there's like a bar. Fucking bags and bags of food. Bags of food. She has this thing with a fucking discount DVD bin at Walmart. She'll just buy any old crappy kids movie she sees. And like I have to tell her, like, take those fucking things back. No one's gonna watch those. Go get store credit. Go buy like one DVD that doesn't suck dick. But she's got tons of movies she's bought over the years that she's never even opened. She has a still wrapped copy of Slumdog Millionaire. I don't even remember what fucking year that thing came out. You could look it up, but your phone gives feedback on the mic, so don't. Horrible movie. Too many clothes. She buys clothes for my kids all the time. And she's like, well, I had Kohl's cash. Yeah, they're giving you money to get you in the door to buy more shit, dum-dum.
She had to spend money to get the Kohl's cash.
Yes. So she's like, I bought the girl's desk. And like she bitched at me the other day because there was a jacket that my youngest never wore. Because she had like 4 fucking jackets. I think that's wasteful as hell. I can't, in all good conscience, let her buy 2 jackets a year that are the same size just because, well, that other jacket looks like it's dirty. So fucking wash it! God damn it. We take like 4 trips a year to the JCPenney photo studio for my kids.
Still?
I fucking hate that place.
Get a camera.
And she knows, like, the lady that manages there, she's always like, oh, we got a book with Becky because the girls love her. And we go there, and every time I'm just like, are you still fucking here?
I didn't know those places still existed.
They do.
Didn't they used to have them in Kmart, too?
Kmart, Sears, some Walmarts have them. And then their timeshare they're sick of.
Aren't those ripoffs anyway?
Yes. Do you really need to fucking go to Florida for 3 weeks every March?
Well, it would be nice, but what are they paying to do that? That's what I always
thought. They drive down there.
And you don't get to pick when either, do you?
Yeah, they have the same 3 weeks every year.
Oh.
And then if you saw her, you'd see she's kind of pear-shaped. So more crappy snack foods because it's not enough that there's like 8 bags of Cheetos down in the bar. There's like 4 things of Cub Foods bakery goods sitting on the counter. Like fucking M&M cookies tonight, Christmas cookies, and then some chocolate glazed donut hole thing. My fucking dad is going to have a massive grabber in the driveway shoveling snow from all this sugar that he's just encapsulating his heart with.
Or diabetes.
He's not that fat yet. So I don't know.
The sugar.
It could be. I don't know. But he shovels it in. And then like I've inherited that trait. So tonight I walk in. They're like, oh yeah, we made steak. Because they invited me over for dinner. And then I'm halfway through my steak. Oh, my dad's like, well, I can't remember. Do you like strawberry rhubarb pie? Which it's like, you fucking know I love strawberry rhubarb pie, weenus. First off, your sense of humor is just fucking... I'm not 5 anymore, goddammit. So that's not even like witty. But yes, put the pie on my plate. Now, it's going in my mouth. I need to eat my feelings. So I've had a few girlfriends that use things very roughly. I mentioned my ex with the vacuum. I had another ex who used to sit on my couch. She'd get out of the shower, wrap a towel around her, go sit on the couch while her hair dried. And I'm like, do you think you could maybe not sit on my couch with a wet fucking towel? It's leather. Well, you're not going to have this couch forever. I've had this couch for like a year.
Not if you keep sitting on it like that.
Yeah, and then there's the fucking like the mark she made on the coffee table. Because she was like doing her nails and she spilled some nail polish remover. So there's like a little warped spot in the finish. I'm like, oh, you're such a bitch. I'm like, you don't care, do you? No, it's not your shit. The apartment I was living in at the time was furnished with like 95% my shit.
Why would she give a shit? It's not her shit.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So, my ex, I got this new vanity in my upstairs bathroom. And one day she threw something to me. I asked her to like throw me, I don't know what it was. She threw something to me. Missed and hit the door of the vanity. I'm like, don't fucking whip things at the brand new vanity, you dumb bitch. You're going to chip wood chunks out of it. And her response is, well, maybe if you wouldn't buy such a shitty vanity. Yes, because it's the fucking furniture's fault that it gets damaged due to your negligence, meathead. Or the paint on the walls. Like, they'll get like scuff on the paint. Like, you not scuff the paint on the walls and I want to repaint. Maybe if you didn't buy such shitty paint. Everything was, maybe if you didn't buy such shitty. Let's break down that statement. Maybe if me, not with her help, didn't buy, as in I'm the only one fucking pay for it, such shitty insert whatever here.
Sounds like you shouldn't have picked such a shitty one.
Yeah, sounds like I wish she would have gone back in time and been a blowjob instead. You know? But my kids are cute, and eventually she's going to get into a plane and some asshole with like a shoe bomb's going to blow it up. So, fingers crossed. But the mother of all fights we ever had that was that I kept going, and it kept just rehashing all of the anger. I made a chart of all the things that we both used, and so we could keep track of whose turn it was to buy. So I made it for like 5 or 6 things, like toilet paper, cat litter, cat food, this face lotion we both used once we got out of the shower. I don't know, diapers. Diapers was a big one. And she was like, God, you're such a cheap ass about it. Like, look at the chart. It's your fucking turn. No, it's not. I fucking bought it last time. I'd write down the initials of who bought it and the date. And then one day she's just like, I'm so sick of your Jew chart. I'm like, what? She called it the Jew chart because I was being such a Jew with how I was keeping track of how we were spending the money. I'm like, fuck you! Because I'm just trying to keep it fair. And she's like, well, you make more money than me. And I wanted to be like, well, you suck more dick than me. But what's that have to do with the price of tea in China? It's still fair. I didn't make her pay half the utilities. Most of them she paid a third because she was such a bitch about it. But I didn't go, at the time I didn't press her for the, you smoke and you drink and you eat at Subway 3 times a week and your nails and your fucking other stupid shit. And she's got a fucking wicked gambling habit, dude.
Oh, yeah?
Scratch-offs, lottery tickets, pull tabs. Oh, my God.
Just the worst kind of gambling, too.
It is. She wins a decent amount, but like, so when I enlisted her help yesterday, I'm like, hey, can you text me reasons why you think I'm a cheap ass? Here's a list of things that she texted me that I wrote down. I only wanted to go with her to Osaka on her birthday. It's a fucking $45 meal for 2 people to sit down for a half an hour. That's like an entire trip to Target for groceries for us, you dumb bitch. I can go buy other steak or chicken. I don't need some fucking Asian guy to sit there and do the whole fancy hibachi Szechuan deal with it all. I don't. It should only be on your birthday. It's a special occasion, right? Because if you do something special all the time, the novelty's gone. It's not fucking special. If you have a girl that asks you to put your finger in her butt and give her the shocker, okay, you're not going to do that all the time, or you're going to go, okay, you clearly only want me for my pinky. Here's another thing. No cable or internet at the house. Fucking cable's a waste of goddamn money. And there's like 6 shows that I watch. So, like I mentioned last night, if I want to watch something on cable, I go to my folks' house. I watch it on demand. I have a fucked up schedule. I have to get it when I can.
Cable's a colossal waste now with, like, Netflix.
All the bundles and
YouTube.
shit.
You can watch all kinds of stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, or being a peeping Tom if you like to watch your neighbors through binoculars. That shit's free, as long as they don't catch you. The internet, I have no internet at my house.
Which is a hindrance.
Kind of.
At this point. It's becoming one.
Move past it. Not in the budget. So I use the internet at work on my break. I go to the library sometimes. I used to do it more at the apartment. I go to the library and use the internet for like an hour. I go to my folks and I use the internet there because it's my fucking computer. I'm apparently a cheap ass because I charge her to pay me back for trivial shit. She's like, can you pick me up a Diet Dr. Pepper? Can you get me that? Can you get me that? And when I show up and I'm like, can I get the money? She's like, well, I'm going to give you this much because that's all I have. No, it doesn't fucking work that way. You can't, like, go get a prostitute and she's like, okay, $20, then I'll fucking suck it. And then, like, she finishes off and she's wiping the jizz off her chin. She's like, okay, money. You're like, God, I only have a 10, a 5, and 3 ones. You can't pull that shit. It doesn't work. You can't go to the store and you get up to the register. You're like, well, like, I know there's 8 bananas, but there's only 7 days in a week, so I'm only going to pay you for 7 bananas.
Sounds logical.
You can't do that. And here's one. Well, my oldest, she's still in the same jacket because it fits. Jesus titty fucking Christ. Because it still fits. Of course it still fits, you dingy bitch. That's what you do is you buy shit to fit for more than like a week.
You buy it large. So
guess who bought the jacket?
Wasn't her.
My mom.
Oh.
My fucking mom. So here's me taking the notes. And my ex can suck a dick. So we're going to take a brief break here to work on a little sound intro for the next bit, which is called Things You Learn When Working in a Jail. And this is just something that I've noticed a lot recently, like in the months of September and October when we had like extra humidity in the air, but it was starting to cool off, so people were taking extra hot showers around there. I was doing my rounds and I was going in and out of the bathrooms for the inmates. And by the shower areas, like I have to make sure no one's like dead in the showers. So I poke my head in, and I shit you not, so many times over the span of like a 2-week period, I'd go in there and I'd fucking smell cum. I fucking smell cum like the whole place had just been given a fresh lucite coat of human jizz. And oh god, it's so thick, and it doesn't go away for like an hour. So somebody had just like freshly beaten off, just gone to town on themselves, jizzed. I don't know where. I didn't go in there with like a luminol kit to find the bodily fluids for a CSI sampling. But it was in there, and it must have been either like right on the drain and a lot of cum, or like on the wall, and they were just gonna let the cum dry.
So
they say that the reason why things smell worse in the shower, like your farts, is because the moisture heightens your sense of smell. So like the air in there is super damp and humid. It's just like magnifying the stench of cum.
Just all cummy and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the second fact. If you think it's bad if you live in a house full of females and they cycle together, they all get their periods together, imagine what it's like when an entire living wing of female inmates all get their periods together. They're usually all drug and alcohol dependent with personality disorders and on a lot of medication.
Half in withdrawal.
I swear to Christ, I just wanted to come in with like a family of grizzly bears. Not just because I wanted to see bears rip them apart, because they say bears can smell the menstruation.
Yep.
And it would have just been like leftover body parts and menses everywhere with a bunch of bears laying there chilling, like the Disney country bears, like sleeping with their paws on their chests, like with their full bellies. Like in a Disney cartoon when any bear eats an entire animal whole. Just like...
But the problem is those bitches probably could have scared the bear away.
So sticking with like the women and the menses and the bear theme, it's probably not a good idea to go camping with your girlfriend when she's on the rag.
No.
And I thought of this years ago, because we were going to go to the Apple River, but the girl I was with was like, well, I'm having my period. I'm like, why are you bringing that up? She's like, well, I don't want to get on my swimsuit. I'm like, your swimsuit? You should be more worried about bears.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? Like, fucking bears, dude. They can smell the menstruation. Like, we're going to be sitting around, and I just pictured, like, Smokey the Bear coming through the woods with his fucking shovel and his stupid Ranger Rick hand. He's like, only you can drink. Just devour her pussy. And she's like, oh my God, that's horrible. I'm like, I know, you just totally defiled a beloved children's safety icon. All because you couldn't keep your sniz from belching blood.
That's terrible.
Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap earlier this time, and the shows are going to start having a half-hour format instead of an hour, because that's going to just be like way too long for people.
Well, unless we're just flowing and it turns into an hour.
If it goes that way, but the target's 30 minutes, so we can pound out more episodes, because it's all about quantity, not quality, right?
Sure.
Right. Why don't we do lightning round talking points? In my quest to get ideas from my friends yesterday, JC said, tongue rings. Do they actually make it feel better when bitches suck your dick? That is a quote. That is not me paraphrasing. That is what he said. And to that, I will say, I have noticed no difference. But I've only had one girl do it to me, and she was a chubby girl, and it fell out in the middle of it, and she had to stop sucking my dick to put it back in, and I was more or less bothered by that.
If she was a heavy girl, she should have been good anyway, right?
Well, she was too busy fucking around with her stupid tongue ring to be good at filleting me, so I was more upset than I was like, oh yeah, fucking tongue ring, finally. I thought to myself, like, all right, tongue ring, fine, let's see what this is about. And then she's like, oh, it fell out. And I'm like, God damn it!
Unless it vibrates, a blowjob is a blowjob.
Wow. That sounds like it could be a little gay.
Okay, let me clarify.
Be careful where you say that, because there are
with
some
a woman doing the work
out there that would be like, you're darn right that a blowjob's a blowjob. Buckle up, buckaroos. All right, talking point number 2. Andy, cartoons today are shittier than they were when we were kids. Everything's shittier to us.
It's pussification.
But it's not only that, but it's like what we knew at the time was best because that's what we were exposed to. Like, how many fucking times did you find yourself watching old goddamn 1970s Spider-Man cartoons?
I hated that stuff.
That fucking shit was lame. But what did we have? Amazing Spider-Man on Fox. And X-Men on Fox. And Fantastic Four on Fox. And Iron Man and probably Doctor Strange. And the Hulk. Because Marvel was pimping it hardcore with animation in the 90s.
Really
well, I must say, if I was to... Well, yeah, we don't need to, like, name everything. That's, like, a fucking other
You named all the gay ones, though. I was just giving a good one. We didn't all watch
I named one gay one, and I named the comparable, better versions
They're all
of the
comic
90s.
books.
So, Disney Afternoon was good. Nicktoons were good. Kids don't have that shit today. There's too many fucking stupid live-action crappy shows on Nickelodeon. There's a lot of crap on Cartoon Network. Like, I don't get Adventure Time, and I kind of like regular show. I think Uncle Grandpa is entertaining, but it's fucking stupid. You probably don't know what that is, do you?
No.
You got to get on Cartoon Network and
Clarence. That's so stupid. I don't.
There's one show my kid watches that she loves that I also love because it's made by somebody our age, a millennial, and it's meant to be fun for the kids with little winks for the parents. And it's called Clarence. And I encourage anybody who doesn't know it to check it out because Clarence is this like fat cheeked little pudgy kid that moves to a new town. And he talks like this. and he's really excited about everything. Like, everything's amazing, and he has an incredible sense of imagination. And his dad bounced out on his mom, and his mom's boyfriend, Chad, lives with them. So he's always like, oh, I don't have a dad. I have a Chad. So
be careful with overdoing it with them kind of shows, or your kids will start to talk like that. I've seen it happen.
Who else? My friend Neil wanted me to mention Star Wars is fucking everywhere.
Oh, I noticed that today.
The way he's like, here's a quote from Neil. He's like, dude, they have fucking Star Wars oranges.
Some lady said that Darth Vader was racist. Or it was racist because Darth Vader was black. James Earl Jones. That's who.
His voice was black and his
But then when he took the
black.
helmet off,
and he was fucking white. He wasn't even white. He was like extra white.
He was, he was.
He was like, I haven't
chalky.
seen the sun in 40 years, and I might be like sickle cell anemic white.
Yeah, but this bitch is on the news trying to raise a fuss over it.
Well, that's what's popular to do these days, is throw out the race card and just wait for the aftermath. And hey, I know how to make people uncomfortable. I'll say something they really like is racist. And to that, I say, eat a dick. So there's our lightning fast talking points. Is there anything else you want to add before the end of this episode? I have dominated the whole thing.
Should we talk about those idiots that got stuck on the ice?
Red Lake, a bunch of fishermen went out on the thin ice.
A little overzealous, I think. Wind picked up and broke the ice apart, and they were left floundering in the middle.
I just want to point out that if the wind picks up and it breaks ice, that sounds like some never-ending story-esque bullshit. That's like, wait,
well, no,
the
it's
wind.
just...
The wind broke the ice?
It's because the ice isn't fully formed yet. So when the temperatures...
asshole with experience on Minnesota lakes...
They called it fissures, too. They said something about fissures. Cracks in the ice.
Yes, F-I-S-S-U-R-E-S, fissures.
I'm picturing what happened was...
I might have just missed
They got one of these cracks in the ice, and then there's 50 people out there with portable ice.
Once again, it
houses
sounds like a fucking movie. Where like something happens, like a bad guy pounds a staff on the edge of the lake,
I know, right?
And then it cracks the ice and all the people fall in the water.
I think there's just too many people with portables.
I think maybe you shouldn't be fucking out on the ice before mid-January.
There's not even snow on the ground.
It's December 15th, and the grass is green, and we might get snow tonight. It's looking like, with the temperatures, that it's going to be a green Christmas.
I saw South Dakota's having a snowstorm, though.
Yeah, fuck them. I don't
so that shit might come this
I don't live there, so it doesn't apply to me.
No, but what happens there weather-wise is what's going to happen
Possibly.
here.
It's going to go like at an angle upwards northeast.
Sometimes.
Well, that's it for episode 2. We will be back soon with episode 3. I have to think of something, so I'm just going to make other people give me ideas because I'm a lazy prick. This has been the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann.
I'm Danny.
And that's the end.